Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all of you. So in this video, I would like to do a little bit of sharing on my lesson on Unit 6 Crime, from our download textbook for Form 5. I would like to share how I go about using our textbook, which is CEFR aligned, and how do I carry out the lessons so that they are more interactive. Now, I receive questions and also, queries from friends, teachers who ask that sometimes they're out of ideas, or they feel that with the textbook, teachers end up just like giving tasks to students and then discuss online either via Google Meet or Zoom, or Telegram. But how I think we can make it like more interactive. Okay, so this is just a quick video. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen now. First, I would like to show, that whatever I do in classroom, whatever that we do in classrooms, of course, it has to be CFR aligned. We are doing according to the scheme of work, and of course, we are also adhering to our textbook. Okay, but sometimes I like to do some other things, embed other activities, because when we carry out our lessons, we are doing it according to the pace of our students. We have started this lesson, and this is also a very interesting unit or chapter on crime, where students are going to learn different names of crimes, criminals. So for today's lesson, I started off my set induction by checking the answers for this one. Okay, this one. Okay, there are students in the textbook. Students are supposed to fill in the blanks using the right word in order for them to learn the definition. What is the meaning of arsonist, burglar, kidnapper, and all. All right. So what I did in my earlier lesson was I designed my Jamboard, my slides on Jamboard, taking the information from the textbook but changing it a little to this. Okay, now let's just take a look. Okay, I'm going to share with you first the initial Jamboard, meaning before students attempted, before we carried out the lesson. So this is my preparation. This is how I prepared the lesson before class. I started off by putting pictures of different names, of different names for offenders or criminals, and I want them to actually label the picture. However, if you notice, my set induction actually tallies to this activity, the one that they did as homework. So instead of just using these boring words and all, I put in pictures and I want them to name or label each picture and gives the definition. So one example is given. For example, this is one example. Example must be given, my dear teachers, so that our learners understand immediately what we want them to do. So for example, the first picture is actually a shoplifter, and we want them to write a shoplifter is a person who takes something from the shop without paying. And actually, all of it are from our textbook. It's just that in order for me to check their work, I put it on Jamboard and I turn it into a set induction for this second lesson on Unit 6. Okay, let's go to the next slide. What was my preparation? In the second slide, I want to check their work, their previous work as well, because they were assigned to do the vocabulary task here. So I want to check their answers here as well. So these are the punishment that offenders receive, criminals receive. So basically, what I did was of course, I screenshot this area, this part, but I did not really use screenshot. I snip and sketch. Okay, that is for another video. I think I will show you how to do snipping, how to use snipping tool. Okay, and I put it as background and immediately ask my learners after the first slide just now, after this set induction, I just tell them that they have answered this question, so circle the right answer. We can quickly, immediately look at the answers, whether they are answered correctly or wrongly. And this one can be done very quickly. I would say like 10 minutes, as you go into your lesson. Okay, the third slide, this is when I bring in something else, because from our textbook, let me show you. Okay, this is our textbook on vocabulary. So after vocabulary, it is followed by grammar lesson on Modals. This is our textbook. So after vocabulary, it is followed by our grammar lesson, and I want to actually integrate vocabulary. I want to check the vocabulary work, and I also want to introduce this grammar lesson on Modals. Okay, so what I did was to start teaching models, the presentation stage, I want to give them a game. I want to start off with a game. But this is not really like, this is a board game. And when I put it on Jamboard, what I did was I found this on internet. I screenshot or I snip and sketch and I put it as background. And I also included in, all these are mine. I just simply put here. Can you see? All the models, will, won't, can, can't. I put it around just so that they can see we are doing models. Although in the board there are also models. Okay. And as preparation as well, what I want to do, what I have in mind is I'm going to ask my students to answer each of these boxes, from starting here. So there are 15 boxes. There are 15 questions or 15 sentences for them to work on. My next slide is to make things more organized. I prepared a box here with numbered question. You see, number 1, number 2. So when I assign my question, for example, Alia, number 1, she will use a sticky note and put her sticky note, put the answer for that. Okay, I'll just demonstrate first, yeah. Okay, for example, I take a sticky note. Let's say put an answer, type the answer. Okay, and she will put it here. This is so that we can check together as a class. So this can also be a form of a formative assessment. Okay, or you can see whether they understand the use of models or not. We haven't started. We have taught them models previously, so we are checking how much they know, how much they remember, and all that. Yeah, and this is also interesting because if you see the first box here, first question, I would say, how old do you think my grandmother is? So student has to answer using any model that is suitable. Can they do it? All right. Next, I'm surprised he wasn't at the party. Actually, party here, yeah. I'm surprised he wasn't at the party. So which model can be used to continue the sentence? So we will select the students for all these 15 boxes, all these 15 questions, and they will post their sticky note here. So it's very organized. We can see one by one. Okay, question is, to make it more interesting for this lesson, what I did was, let me just show you as well. I already prepared, okay, I have already prepared a wheel of names for my students, okay, for my 5 row and my 5S. So can you see now? So just now in class, what we did, which was very fun, for that particular board game, yeah. So I just pin their name, all right, and then the name that it landed on, okay, will be called. For example, here, Siti Sophia. So Siti Sophia, I spin 15 times first, so I remove. Then I spin the second time. All right, then I spin the second time. Okay, means I spin first all 15 names, and people were like, the students just now, they were really screaming, they were like teasing one another. So Anina Maisara is the second one. Okay, and okay, so after I have spun all their names, okay, and then they immediately work on these sentences or questions and put them in this box that I have prepared. Okay, I will show you the outcome of their work after this. I'm just going through my preparation first. After this activity was completed, okay, I move on to some of the notes. All these comes from our textbooks as well. I just screenshot or I just snip and sketch and I pasted here in my Jamboard, in my slide. So I just went a bit about, a bit of explaining what are the use of these models, okay, and some question and answer with the students. And next is the exercise from the textbook as well. So basically, I am not like leaving work from the text. It's just that there are times when I ask them to answer immediately in their textbook. There are times when I ask them to, copy down the exercise, like for example this one, in the exercise book, from the textbook to the exercise book, so that they can practice writing. And after giving them, for example, 10 to 15 minutes, I will call them to give their answers and we discuss together on the Jamboard. So basically this is what I have done. So I'm going to move on to the exact Jamboard or the exact slides that we work on today as a class, for our lesson. Okay, so what happened was when I prepared the slides on Jamboard, I normally made a copy. So there's another copy so that maybe I can share with friends and all. Okay, so this is what happened. Okay, after lesson. So for set induction, students were able to name all of these. These are all the answers you see in the what do you call this? In the brackets are their names. Move on to the second slide. Okay, this one's randomly students or volunteers they came and answered, okay, and it was checked. Very quickly done as well, this one, yeah. And this is an interesting part. And remember the wheel of names, so we had fun, and each of them pasted all their responses here. And it looked very nice as well and very organized. And I checked one by one together with the class. I was able to correct them because using sticky note, we can just click on it as well, okay, and we corrected whatever that is not right. So basically, my students were able to use the correct modal, okay, in each of the sentence or question in the game earlier. Successfully completed. Next. All right, so when I presented some input, when we discussed, modals are used to describe ability, to give permission, requests, give offers and suggestions, I'm able to ask them. So if you see what happened here, I asked them, what is the difference between can and could? When do we use can and could? When do we use will and would? So their responses came in, orally as we were showing, as we were going through the Jamboard. And the next one is the exercise. Okay, because there was no time to attempt on this earlier. This was taken as homework, and I will discuss it in my next lesson. Probably this will be my set induction for my next lesson. Probably depends. Yeah, I always like to look at things from different angles and perspectives. So basically, that's what I did for my lesson, and I would like to share with you this copy of this slides on Jamboard. All right, because this is not done yet. So if you haven't worked on this exercise or this part of the lesson, you can use it. I will share with you if you want to. Okay, and happy trying. Okay, bye bye.